And in our very first story for this package, he was stabbed multiple times with a knife. And when that failed to weaken him, his attacker used a pickaxe to strike him in his back, killing him instantly. That's the story of Dennis Kwesi, who was murdered in the presence of his 6-year-old daughter on Christmas Day as he resisted attempts by armed robbers to snatch his vehicle. It is one of many crimes confronting residents of the twin communities Tantra Hill and Achimota Mile 7. JoyNews editor Fred Smith was in the community and brings us the first in a series of reports focusing on the terror visited on residents by armed robbers.
Twin communities of New Achimota, popularly referred to as Mile 7 and Tantra Hill, sprang up in the 1980s. This was due to excess demand for land in Achimota, which is home to two of Ghana's most prestigious educational institutions, the Achimota School and St. John's Grammar. It is arguably one of the best managed communities in Accra and attracts many upper and middle class professionals. Personalities such as high life legend Daddy Lumba, Sarkodie, Kofi B, Oforian Ponsa, ex-Black Stars striker Tony Yeboah, former EC boss Dr. Kwadwo Afarijan, and boxing legend Azuma Nelson are but a few of national heroes and stars who live or shot to prominence during their stay in Mile 7 or Tantra Hill. In spite of the abundance of talent and the affluence in these two communities, Mile 7 and Tantra Hill also face similar challenges faced by many other communities in Ghana. Poor roads and indeed residents here have had to endure the terror of robbers who usually come on motorbikes. Dennis Kwesi, a 45-year-old father of 5, died on Christmas Day last year. He was attacked by armed robbers. I've come to his family house to speak to them about the incident which led to the loss of their son's life. His brother, Nana Dadzi, was the first.
We found his body when we went to the back of the building. So immediately we had to rush him. The police pickup also came over. We put him in the back, took him to the hospital. The doctor came in to examine the wounds. So he turned his back and we found four cuts, deep cuts on his back, and then one very deep cut on the upper part of his left shoulder. And then the doctor said we came in late and it was dead. We tried all we could do. I'd begged to, do a CPR. I even begged him to inject him with adrenaline, anything possible that could at least make him say 1 or 2 words, but he told me it was late. At that time I was with my dad, who is 79 years old, and my dad had so much confidence that he would be well. And the doctor had already told me he had passed. I didn't know how to tell him.
The robbers ambushed Dennis as he returned home from hospital, where one of his daughters had been receiving treatment.
So later on, the police came to the house, and then we found that there was a pickaxe behind the house because he was doing some renovations. So there was blood on the point of the pickaxe. So that indicated, according to them, that is what they used to pierce him so deep. And then he had internal bleeding and then died out of the process.
This is only one of many such attacks which have happened to residents of Mile 7 and Tantra Hill in recent times. Those who live in the two communities want the police to step up security.
They usually come out either early in the morning or late at night when the roads are quiet and there's less attention. I was working on my laptop and they surfaced with a cutlass. Like a few seconds, I analyzed the guy and realized that I could take him on. So I did. And so there was a scuffle. But fortunately for me, he had to go back on the bike, run away, because there were a few guys who had seen it from a distance and were rushing with sticks.
That thing has been happening right at the Roman school, Ola school, that cave I don't know if there's even a street light over there or something, because just after 6, 7, 8, it's so scary. You can't pass there. We need the aid of the police. I guess it's their job to, protect us.
For Joy News, Fred Smith, the twin communities of Tantra Hill and Mile 7.
We'll get more from Joy News editor Fred Smith shortly on that joy in your communities. The first in the series. Look out for more. We'll be in your community soon. But let's speak to the MCE for the area, MCE for Ganoth, Gertrude Ankra. We're grateful for your time here on News Desk. I'm sure you've heard some of your residents. This is not a new phenomenon for you. Has this been drawn to your attention? I should ask first. Hello?
Hello.
Thank you very much for your time here on News Desk. I'm sure you can hear me now. I'm asking if this armed robbery phenomenon has been brought to your attention. We've heard from residents in Tantra Hill and Achimota.
Yes. Some of those issues have been discussed extensively at music, and so the police are taking measures to make sure it's kept. We have had information about the insurgents of this crime. And the assembly itself has also been informed about the nature of our street lights, as the guy who spoke indicated. So for the past 3 weeks, we've embarked on, putting up new street lights at the areas where these people have the luxury of darkness to perpetuate their crime. And my 7 police has a new commander who is also putting structures in place to make sure we bring crime down for the people to have some security.
So how about in terms of patrols in the area? You've talked about street lights though, but the presence of the police in the communities itself, is this something that you're working on as well?
That's what I just said, that we're putting up the street lights, and then the police are also putting up strategies, including the patrol, so that they would avail themselves, they would make the presence of the police felt in all the corners of the area. We have another music meeting tomorrow, and we would be able to give you vividly what we have already done, and some of it, for security reasons, might not be able to put them online as we do it.
But is it a situation that the police have under control, you would say?
Yes, seriously, they're working assiduously to curb this situation.
But whilst we have you though, whilst we're in your community, another issue that was of concern to the residents is the poor state of roads. Is the Assembly doing anything about it anytime soon?
Yes, you truly have been a 9 community.
Of course.
And looking at Ganoth, I don't know, but we have the most roads, I believe, in Accra. Whichever road you step on in Ganoth takes you somewhere. We have so many roads, and it's only, if I can say, 3 that are tarred. And the Assembly has the capacity to do as much. The MP is lobbying for some. Most of this road has already been awarded, except for the fact that it's taking a little longer for the contractors to be on site. And that has been our worry for now. So we're working on them. But those under the Assembly that can be reshaped or, worked on, we are working on. As I speak with you, we are working on about 8 or 9 roads within the limits of the assembly. But those beyond, that are supposed to be for urban roads, for all the highway, we are working for them to look our way and help the contractors expedite us.
We'll be monitoring you because we live in that community as well. So we'll be monitoring progress in that community. So know that we'll be on your tails and checking every step of the way. We are grateful for your time. Gertrude Ankara is MCE for Ganoff. And like I said, we live in that community because Joy News editor Fred Smith is there and we'll be monitoring events there. But Fred, what's the bigger picture? I thought Tantra Hill and Achimota is quite a great community to live in, but it looks like you have problems.
Yes, it is a great community to live in, lovely people. Unfortunately, criminals are taking advantage of how kind the people are and how close they are with themselves, you know. So in some of the cases I came across in doing this story, there's a mobile money vendor very close to where I live. That shop has been robbed, say 5 times between last year and now, about 5 times. Joy News had occasion to go there late last year to do a report on, at the time, they had been robbed 3 times. Now, since this report we did, security presence was increased and it slowed a bit. But they've since had 2 more attacks at this mobile money vending shop.
But you heard your MC talk about the presence of streetlights as well as presence of police in the area since these issues were brought to light. Is that the case?
Well, for the presence of the police, it will be difficult to ascertain because a lot of the times you see the police vehicle moving. You're not sure whether they are on a beat to, you know, track down criminals or they are on their private beats, because a lot of the times the kind of people I see sitting in the vehicle is as if they're going somewhere, not actually monitoring activities.
But how about the street lights?
About the street lights,
just 3 weeks ago, a number of them have been fixed.
Well, some streets have lights, others don't, and there are some places, especially where Tantra Hill, near Ola, there's a street where people cannot use at all. You heard one of the residents who spoke to us that after 7 you cannot use that road because it's so dangerous. It is the same place where I understand Franklin Kujo has had his car, you know, snatched from him one time. It's the same place where somebody's BMW was taken from last year. You know, it's a very, very dangerous area in Mile 7.
We definitely have to go back to that community again. First Smith, we are grateful for your time here on the news desk. And of course, join your community. Like I said, we'll be in your community soon, so be on the lookout.